One detective who finds himself caught in a murder investigation that puts himself in the middle of a battle between mythical creatures from Brazilian folklore. Hi, I'm Alex. Welcome to Reasons Why podcast, and in today's episode we're gonna talk about Invisible City. So, Invisible City is this Brazilian TV series from Netflix. It is already all the 7 episodes are already available on Netflix, and the whole story takes place in Rio de Janeiro, which is a Brazilian city. So the story is basically about Eric, an environmental officer, right, who is devastated after the death of his wife. His wife was, I don't know, killed in a fire, a fire in a forest, but he starts investigating the situation because he's not sure if it was an accident or if she was killed by someone else. What really happened? Okay, it's a spoiler, I'm not gonna tell you. So, the story takes place in Rio de Janeiro, which is a very famous Brazilian city. It is something, as a Brazilian, I'd like to criticize about the TV series because this story, those legends shown in the TV series are more connected to forest, so I think they're more connected to the north of the country. But I understand that the story takes place in Rio because Rio is the most famous city in the country, internationally speaking, you know. So, but it's something I'd like to point out. I'm being a bit here criticizing this show, but anyway, you got it, right? Another thing, the Rio de Janeiro shown in the show, shown in the show is great, is not real. They show some, the classic mountains, but the city, I don't live in Rio, but I've been there sometimes. And the city, the Rio, is far away more chaotic than that. So just warning you, if you're, thinking of visiting the city because of the TV show, no, it's not like you're in the country, in a farm city. It is a chaotic city with a lot of traffic jams and Rio. Okay, so things I'd like to point out about the show. The show was created by Carlos Saldanha, which is a very famous director, especially by movies like Ice Age. I think he co-directed the first one, and he directed Ice Age 2 and 3, I think. And he also created and directed Real and Real 2. Very famous animations. The guy is not like a famous director because he directs animations, and I think Invisible City is one of his first creators. Okay, so you have this guy investigating the killing, the murder of his wife, and then he gets himself in a, like, not exactly a war like American Gods, but in a situation involving those creatures that in Brazil we learn about them as kids, especially in lullabies, in books for kids, in stories for kids, But the series, which is a suspense, get these characters, these creatures, these entities, and bring them to real life, in a very real way, which I really liked. So, which mythical creatures am I talking about? In Brazil, the most famous one is the Saci. The Saci is this black guy with just one leg, and he loves to play pranks on people, He can become a tornado. He is a very powerful creature, and he smokes, which is something they don't show in the series. Oh, I just remembered. And if you're able to catch his hat, he must do whatever you say. I'm not sure if it is something well understood by those who watch the TV series who are not Brazilian, but it is how it works. The second one, and here I think they show as the most powerful creature, is the cuca. There is a lullaby we sing for kids here that says, which they sing in the show, she sings in the show, which is something like, if you don't sleep, kid, the cuca is gonna get you. Something like that. So Cuca, she's kind of a witch, who comes for kids who don't behave and don't want to sleep. So that is. We also have the pink dolphin. The pink dolphin is also a very funny creature because he's a guy. During the day he's a dolphin, a pink dolphin, but during the night he becomes a man, a very seductive man. and he loves girls. Once he gets them pregnant, he disappears. It is something very common in Brazil, by the way. It's not something we need a pink dolphin to do. Right? Another one, we have the Curupira. Curupira is my favorite, by far my favorite here. So you have this guy, he lives in the forest. His head is always on fire, but he's supposed to protect nature. He's supposed to protect the forest from those people who try to destroy it. And something funny, his feet are backward. So it is difficult to track him because of that. And I love the special effects in the TV series. They don't appear so much, but they're effective. Of course, it wasn't a WandaVision in terms of budget, and it's clear here. But when they decided to show special effects, they really do it. We also have Yara, which is a mermaid, the classic mermaid. She sings very well, she seduces men, and she draws them. She tries to kill men. Just that. We also have the tutu, a big man who becomes a pig, and we have the dry body, which is a guy who destroys the forest. Those last two, I confess I didn't know. As you know, Brazil is a continent, a lot of different states, a lot of different legends and cultures. So some of these entities are famous in specific states or cities. It is the case of the tutu and the dry body, which I didn't know. Here in Brazil, we all know these legends, like I told you. They are like tales for children, like lullabies. So you sing about these entities, you learn about them in the books, But something it is showing the series that I really appreciated, I didn't know, it is the origin of these characters. Especially the origin of the Sassy is very strong. It is related to slavery. If I enjoyed the show, yes, I did. A lot, by the way, and second season is coming according to Netflix, thanks goodness. The show is pretty short. You only have 7 episodes of 30 minutes each, and it is incredible how fast they go and how you can't stop. You always wanna watch the next one. Although I disagree with a lot of things, I don't think it is a perfect show. Especially because of investment, and sometimes the story becomes a little strained. It is a very, very good beginning for what can be a very good TV series. So I hope next season is better in a lot of different ways. So we follow this character, Eric. Like I told you, he's investigating his wife death when he comes across with the pink dolphin. So the pink dolphin is at the beach. He tries to collect the body of the dolphin, and something really Brazilian happens when he tries to get the dolphin where the dolphin is supposed to be. The girl responsible for collecting bodies, she just closes the place because she needs to go to a soccer game or something. Something ridiculous. But anyway, he decides to stay with the body of the dolphin, and then he discovers later at night the dolphin becomes a man, a dead man. This is how he gets in touch with these mythical creatures, and he starts investigating. And then comes the Saci, it comes the Cuca, which is the owner of a crazy bar where Yara the mermaid sings, So first they try to kill him because the entities, they want to keep their secrets, they want to stay hidden. They don't know his intention, what he really wants, but then they kind of start helping each other, and it is really interesting because when you watch the show, all the entities have a different name. Like, for example, Cuca, her name is not Cuca actually, her name is Inês. So you try to discover through her powers, through what she says, what entity she is. And this is really interesting, especially for us Brazilians who are familiarized with this culture. So, like I said, the story is really good. I really like the pace of the story. The show is very well done, very well filmed, and the special effects, although not so good, they're good enough. Far from enough. Okay? So, if I recommend the show, of course I recommend the show. I think everybody should watch this show, not only because of it shows a lot of Brazilian culture and legends, but because it is nice, it is interesting. I'm really happy with this tendency of, especially from Netflix, of showing TV series from all over the world. It is something I'd like to talk about it here later. For a long time we only watched things from Hollywood, movies, TV shows, reality shows, series, and now with the streaming services we have a chance of appreciating things from different countries. So for example, my favorite show last year, one of my favorite shows last year, was a German TV show, Dark. And you have a lot of Spanish TV shows which became phenomenal here in Brazil, like La Casa de Papel. I don't know the name in English. Paper House, probably. And shows from a lot of different countries. So if I recommended the city, yes, I do recommend the city. So thanks guys for listening to this episode of Reasons Why, a podcast about pop culture and social issues. New episodes every Friday, I hope. You can get in touch with us at reasonswhycast@gmail.com. Our Instagram is reasonswhypodcast and our blog is reasonswhypodcast.blogspot.com. So, see you next week. Bye bye.